InDesign offers many of the text editing features you find in dedicated word processing software, including the ability to search and replace text and formatting, check spelling, automatically correct spelling as you type, and track changes as you edit. In this lesson, you'll learn how to do the following: enter and import text, find and change text and formatting, check the spelling in a document, edit a spelling dictionary, automatically correct misspelled words, use the story editor, move text by dragging and dropping, track changes, and review the Adobe Font service. In this lesson, you will perform editorial tasks commonly expected of a graphic designer. These include importing a Microsoft Word file containing an article and using the editorial features in InDesign to search and replace text and formatting, check spelling, enter and track text changes, and more. Start InDesign. The InDesign home screen displays. Click Open at the left. If the home screen does not display, choose File, Open from the InDesign menu bar. If possible, log into the Creative Cloud desktop application to access a font. This document uses a font from the Adobe Font service called Urbana Light. If your system is connected to the Internet and Creative Cloud, the font is automatically activated. If connecting through Creative Cloud is not possible, the Protecting Your P's headline will be highlighted in pink in normal screen mode. In that case, you may apply a different font, such as Myriad Regular, to this headline. For more information on the Adobe Fonts service, see the end of this lesson. Open the 07_start.indd file in the Lesson 07 folder located inside the Lessons folder within the InDesign CIB folder on your hard drive. Now choose File, Save As. Rename the file 07_text.indd and save it in the Lesson 07 folder. To ensure that the panels and menu commands match those used in this lesson, choose Window, Workspace, Essentials, and then choose Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials. If you want to see what the finished document looks like, open the 07_n.indd file in the same folder. If you are logged into a Creative Cloud account, when you open the document, the Minion Pro Bold font is activated automatically. You can leave this document open to act as a guide as you work. When you're ready to resume working on the lesson document, 07_text.indd, display it by clicking its tab in the upper left corner of the document window. You can enter text directly into your InDesign documents, and you can import text prepared in other applications such as word processing software. To type text, you need to use the Type tool and select the text frame, text path, or table cell. Options for importing text include dragging files from the desktop, loading the cursor with one or more text files to import, or importing text into a selected text frame. Generally, graphic designers are not responsible for the text in all their layouts, but they are often asked to enter edits from a marked up hard copy or Adobe PDF. In this exercise, you will use the Type tool to revise the headline. Choose View, Screen Mode, Normal, so that you can see layout aids such as guides, frame edges, and hidden characters. Because View, Extras, Show Frame Edges is selected, the text frames are outlined in gold so that you can see them. Locate the text frame on the left-facing page containing the headline, Protecting Your Peas. You will change Protecting to Protect in the headline. Using the Type tool, click in the text frame immediately to the right of the word Protecting. Press Backspace on Windows or Delete on Mac OS 3 times to delete the ing. Then choose File, Save. When working with a template for projects such as a magazine, designers generally import article text into existing text frames. In this exercise, you will import a Microsoft Word file and apply body copy formatting to it. Using the Type tool, click in the first column of the text frame on the right-facing page. Choose File, Place. In the lower left corner of the Place dialog box, make sure Show Import Options is not selected. Navigate to and select the 07_gardening.docx file in the Lesson 07 folder, located inside the Lessons folder within the InDesign CIB folder on your hard drive. Click Open. If the Missing Fonts dialog box displays, click Close to dismiss it. You will apply a different font through a paragraph style. The text flows from column to column, filling the first 2 columns and part of the third. Now choose Edit, select All, to select all the text in the story. Locate the Properties panel at the right. In the Text Style area, click the Paragraph Styles tab. Click the menu below and select the body paragraph style. Click in the first body paragraph starting with Peas are easy to grow. Select First Body Paragraph from the Paragraph Styles menu in the Properties panel, as shown. Now that you have changed the formatting, the story may no longer fit. In the lower right corner of the text frame on the right-facing page, a red plus sign will indicate overset text, additional text. Later, you will use the story editor to resolve this. Choose Edit, deselect All to deselect the text. Then choose File, Save. Like most popular word processing software, InDesign lets you search and replace text and formatting. While graphic designers are working on layouts, the copy is still being revised in most cases. When editors request global changes, Find Change helps ensure accurate and consistent changes. For this article, an editor decided to change all instances of bird to blackbird. You will set up a search and replace to change all instances of bird in the document. Using the Type tool, click at the beginning of the story before Peas are easy to grow on the right-facing page in the far left column. Choose Edit, Find Change. Click the menu in the Query field to see the built-in Find Change options. Click each tab across the top to view other options: text, grep, glyph, object, and color. Click the Text tab for a simple search and replace of text. Click Forward for the search direction. Type bird in the Find What field. Press Tab to navigate to the Change To field. Type Blackbird. Using the search menu in the Find Change dialog box, you can choose the scope of the search, such as story or document. Select Story from the search menu. Point at each icon in the row below the search menu to view its tooltip and see how it affects the Find Change operation. For example, clicking the whole word icon ensures that instances of the Find What text within another word will not be found or changed.
In this case, a search for bird will find the text within birds if the whole word is not selected.
Make sure that case sensitive and whole word are not selected. Click Find Next. When the first instance of bird is highlighted, click Change All. When the alert indicates that 4 additional replacements were made, click OK. Leave the Find Change dialog box open for the next exercise. The editors request one more global edit to this article. This one concerns formatting rather than word choice. The gardening tips in the article are preceded by the word tip with the lowercase I and P, which should be in purple, bold, and all capital letters. Using the Type tool, click at the beginning of the story before peas are easy to grow on the right-facing page in the far left column. Type capital T, lowercase I, P, colon in the Find What field. Press Tab to select the text in the Change To field and press backspace or delete. Type capital T, I, P, colon in the Change To field. Click Case Sensitive below the search menu. In the Change Format section at the bottom of the Find Change dialog box, click the Specify Attributes to Change icon. This displays the Change Format Settings dialog box. In the Change Format Settings dialog box, select Basic Character Formats at the left. Type Bold in the Font Style field.
If you cannot activate Minion Pro Bold, you may skip this step.
Select Character Color in the list at the left. In the Character Color box, click Purple Cool to select it. Click OK to return to the Find Change dialog box. Notice the alert icon that appears above the Change To field. This icon indicates that InDesign will change the found text to the specified formatting. Test your settings by clicking Find Next and then clicking Change. Once you confirm that capital T tip changes to capital T IP in purple, click Change All. When the alert indicates that 2 changes were made, click OK. Click Done to close the Find Change dialog box. And select Edit, deselect All to see the changes. Choose File, Save. InDesign has features for checking spelling similar to the options in word processing programs. You can check the spelling and select the text, an entire story, all the stories in a document, or all the stories in several open documents at once. To customize which words are flagged as possible misspellings, you can add words to your document's dictionary. In addition, you can have InDesign flag possible spelling issues and correct spelling as you type. The Check Spelling dialog box provides the following buttons to handle the words shown in the Not in Dictionary field, otherwise known as suspect words. Click Skip when you are confident of the spelling of the current suspect word, but would like to review any other instances of the spelling in context. Change. Click Change to change the spelling of the current instance of the suspect word to the spelling in the Change To field. Ignore All. Click Ignore All when you are confident that the spelling of the suspect word is appropriate for use throughout the selection, story, or document. If you relaunch InDesign, words that were previously ignored will be flagged again during the next spell check. Change All. Click Change All when you are confident that changing the spelling of the suspect word is appropriate for the entire selection, story, or document. Before a document is ready for print or electronic distribution, it's a good idea to check spelling. In this case, we suspect the newly imported story may be a little sloppy, so you will check the spelling now. Using the Type tool, click before the first word of the article you've been working on. Peas are easy to grow. Choose Edit, Spelling, check spelling. InDesign automatically begins to check the spelling. Although the spell check is started, you can use the search menu to change the scope. For example, you may prefer to check only a new story and not an entire document. You can choose to check all documents, document, story, to end of story, or selection, if text is selected. Select Story from the search menu at the bottom of the dialog box. InDesign highlights various words that do not match the spelling dictionary. Handle the flagged words as follows. Cotton, C-O-T-O-N. Select Cotton, C-O-T-T-O-N, in the Suggested Corrections list and click Change. Gardener, G-A-R-D-N-E-R. Type G-A-R-D-E-N-E-R in the Change To field and click Change. Soupe, pois. Click Ignore All. Orzo, click Add to add this fairly common word to your user dictionary. Rigola, ricotta, pancetta. Click Ignore All. Click Done.
Choose Edit, deselect all.
And choose File, Save. With InDesign, you can add words to your user dictionary or to a document-specific dictionary. If you work with multiple clients who may have different spelling preferences, for example, it's better to add words to a document-specific dictionary. In this case, you will add pancetta to your user dictionary. Choose Edit, Spelling, User Dictionary to display the User Dictionary dialog box. If necessary, select User Dictionary from the Target menu. Type pancetta in the word field.
Click Add, and then click Done. Choose Edit, deselect all. Then choose File, Save.
Autocorrect takes the concept of dynamically checking spelling to the next level. With autocorrect activated, InDesign automatically corrects misspelled words as you type them. Changes are made based on an internal list of commonly misspelled words. You can add other commonly misspelled words, including words in other languages, to this list if you like. Choose Edit, Preferences, Autocorrect on Windows, or InDesign, Preferences, Autocorrect on Mac OS to display autocorrect preferences. Select the Enable Autocorrect option. By default, the list of commonly misspelled words is for English, USA. The editors have realized that Gardner, Gardener, is frequently typed as Gardner, missing an E in the middle. You will prevent this mistake by adding the misspelling and correct spelling to the autocorrect list. Click Add. In the Add to Autocorrect List dialog box, type Gardner in the misspelled word field and Gardner in the correction field.
Click OK to add the word. To close the Preferences dialog, click OK in the lower right corner.
Make sure that Edit, Spelling, Autocorrect is selected in the menu. Using the Type tool, type the word Gardner, Gardner, followed by a space anywhere in the text. Notice that Autocorrect changes the spelling from Gardner to Gardner. Choose Edit, Undo until the word you added is deleted. Choose File, Save. To quickly cut and paste words in your document, InDesign allows you to drag and drop text within the same story, between frames, and between documents. You'll now use drag and drop to move text from one paragraph to another in the magazine layout. Choose Edit, Preferences, Type on Windows, or InDesign, Preferences, Type on Mac OS to display type preferences. In the drag and drop text editing section, select Enable in Layout View. This option lets you drag and drop text in Layout View. Click OK. Locate the subhead below the Protect Your P's headline on the left-facing page. Adjust the zoom level as necessary so that you can read the subhead text. Using the Type tool, drag to select the words low calorie along with the comma and the space after the comma. Position the I-bar pointer over the selected word until the pointer changes to the drag and drop icon. Drag the pointer to the correct location for the words, immediately before vitamin. Click the pasteboard to deselect the text and then choose File, Save. If you need to enter many text edits, rewrite a story, or reduce a story's length, you can isolate the text with the Story Editor. The Story Editor window works as follows. Text displays without formatting, with the exception of the bold, italic, and bold italic type styles. Any graphics and other non-text elements are omitted to make editing easier. The column to the left of the text displays a vertical depth ruler and the name of the paragraph style applied to each paragraph. Dynamic spelling, if enabled, highlights misspelled words, just like in the document window. If the Enable in Story Editor option is selected in Type Preferences, you can also drag and drop text in the Story Editor, just as you did in the previous exercise. In Story Editor Display Preferences, you can customize the font, size, background color, and more for the Story Editor window. The article on the right-facing page is too long to fit in the text frame. After you delete a sentence in the Story Editor, the story will fit. Choose View, Fit Spread in Window. Using the Type tool, click in the first full paragraph in the third column of the article, starting with Follow Crops. Choose Edit, Edit in Story Editor. Position the Story Editor window next to the far right column on the spread.
Zoom as necessary for comfortable reading.
Drag the vertical scroll bar in the Story Editor to the end of the story. Note the red vertical line that indicates the overset text. In the Story Editor, scroll down to the paragraph starting with Follow Crops. Locate and select the last sentence in the paragraph. If the peas have been well enriched, 2 or 3 pounds of commercial fertilizer for each 100 feet of row will be sufficient for the second crop. Be sure to select the final period, but not the paragraph return. Press backspace or delete. If necessary, type a paragraph return before recipes so that it remains in a separate paragraph. Choose File, Save. Leave the Story Editor open for the next set of steps. For some projects, it's important to see what changes are made to the text throughout the design and review process. In addition, reviewers may suggest changes that another user can accept or reject. As with a word processing program, you can track text that is added, deleted, or moved using the Story Editor. You will change the name of one of the recipes listed and see how the changes are tracked. Choose Type, Track Changes. Track changes in current story. In the Story Editor, locate the paragraph starting with Recipes. Using the Type tool in the Story Editor, select 7-layer and type Balsamic P over it. Notice how the changes are marked in the Story Editor window. With the Story Editor window still open, choose Type, Track Changes, and review the options for accepting and rejecting changes. Once you have reviewed the possibilities, choose Accept All Changes in this story. When the alert dialog box displays, click OK. Click the Story Editor window's close box. If necessary, choose Edit, Spelling, Dynamic Spelling to disable this feature.
And then choose Edit, Deselect All.
Choose View, Fit Spread in Window. Then choose View, Screen Mode, Preview, and then choose File, Save. Congratulations, you have finished the lesson.